Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
In the squadron, they called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Hey, we're back. You hear this old-timey song from the 80s? It's Tears for Fears. And I'm sitting around the house consuming my phone content, doom scrolling as they call it. And I keep seeing these videos about the new JFK Carolyn Bessette love story. The girl in the Carolyn Bessette love story is hot. Amazing. She really is great. But I noticed something. I'm like, they have this dreary song in the background that is the theme of the series, right? It's a series. I only saw the trailer. I don't want to. I can download Hulu. Got to subscribe to Hulu for $6 a month. 5-10 years from now, it's like, wait, what the hell is Hulu? I've been subscribing to it. I've been just subscribing to the LA Times since 2008. I had no idea. $8.99 a month for the past 17 years. What is that? I don't want to even think about it. Could probably buy a house. Anyway, the same music. They aren't having any good ideas about music anymore, James. It's all copycat music. For instance, the theme song to that show that I just told you is this. Hit the new, dreary, modern version of that song. See? Recognize it? Now here comes the droopy singer.
I wanted to be with you and talk about the weather.
See what I mean?
But traditions I can trace against the child in your face.
Let's take some catchy song from the 90s. Find some sexually ambiguous chick to sing it. And this is what we get. Although it's kind of hauntingly beautiful at the same time, I notice.
And gentle persuasion.
Huh.
I'm lost in madness.
Go to the 90s version again, if you don't mind. What do we like better? If I were these guys, I'd be pissed. Nah, whatever you want to do. Knock yourselves out. I don't have time for that show. I'm not going to watch that show. I already know what happened. The plane crashes, right? They had fights in the park over the dog. Paparazzi was out of control. What else? Somebody told me it's a love letter to New York. I said, who the hell ever? Who said that? You're copying somebody. You didn't come up with that one. It's a love letter to New York.
I've heard that about other pieces of media as well.
It's a love letter to New York. You pansy. I almost beat his ass right there.
Right then and there?
I just had to beat
You
him
had to
up.
hold yourself back.
I think it would have done him some good.
Probably.
It's a love letter to New York.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have? Man arrested and charged with harassment for allegedly throwing snowballs at police. Okay, charged with harassment. Maybe we can get him on harassment if you can't get him on assault.
Is this the same guy, the Koulibaly?
Looks like there may be
Ousmane Koulibaly.
There may be another arrest, another person arrested.
They were looking for a few other people.
Sons of bitches. They need to get those guys. But hey, if there was ever any doubt, Mamdani doesn't like cops, right? This was just another snowball fight with kids. No, it wasn't. And any sane person, any street savvies, any person will know that that's not innocent. It wasn't fun. Hey, this just in. We have a new landing date for the moon, 2028.
Mm-hmm.
That's in 2 years. That's not bad. I could get into that. Jared Isaacman is the head of NASA, and he just said we're landing on the moon in 2028. That's the goal. Now, we are very, very cautious when it comes to the moon and space, and that's a good thing. Did you know that in July of 1969, when Apollo 11 took off, the astronauts are on their way to the rocket ship, right? They're on their way. They're in that little van, and they find out that they have a hydrogen leak. And what do? They sent 3 mechanics with the wrench to the hydrogen leak in the rocket, and they fixed it on the spot. The astronauts did not stop. They did not turn around. They did not halt. They just kept going, and they fixed it. And it launches about 2 hours later. They found a hydrogen leak on the Artemis in February, and they scrapped the entire launch. Maybe we'll try again sometime in March. It's interesting. I get it. I mean, that's not something to be taken too lightly, but I found the clip where they sent these 3 guys with their little hard hats up, and they go there with the wrench, and they fix the leak. They don't even think twice about it. Oh, well, it's a hydrogen leak. You got to stop the leak. How do you do that? You tighten some nuts.
Right. I mean, granted, that was pre-Apollo 13 and Columbia and Challenger.
Well, no, but it's post-Apollo 1.
True.
Apollo 1, it blew up right there on the pad. And, you say pre-Apollo 13. Well, yeah, but then we had Apollo 14 and Apollo 15, 17. Anyway, we're very cautious now, and I guess we have to be. But it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that it's taken us this long to get back to the moon.
As a guy who, was a pilot and connected to the military, what do you think's the upside for going back to the moon? I'm not saying I don't think there is any, but I'm just curious your take on it.
Well, one thing I was noticing, I looked at the Apollo 11 pictures when they were assembling the rocket in that big building down there, the vehicle assembly building. That building was made in 1963, 1964. And the Space Launch System, the SLS rocket, the Artemis rocket, right? Looks almost identical. The capsule looks like the same thing. They're using the same building. It's the same crane. It's the same stuff. And I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't done a lot better, that we need the same garage that is 60 years old now, more than 60 years old. That's where Isaacman was today. He made the big announcement. Maybe with the artificial intelligence, we will be making incredible strides and we'll be flying at light speed in 10 years. But it's very strange to me how we have plateaued. We are like the same kind of, I don't know. It seems like we should be much further along. Hey, the other thing, James Flippin, President Trump spoke a little while ago about the Iranian thing, and I'd like to hear what he had to say. This is President Trump speaking about the Iranian negotiations. Would you hit that for me, Carlos? Okay, on his way to the helicopter.
For Iran, is there a risk that strikes could turn into a long, drawn-out conflict in the Middle East?
I guess you could say there's always a risk. When there's war, there's a risk in anything, both good and bad. We've had tremendous luck with myself, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi. Everything's worked out, and then we do the Midnight Hammer and so many others. Everything's worked out, and we want to keep it that way, but we're going to see. Look, it'd be wonderful if they'd negotiate really in good conscience, good faith and conscience, but they are not getting there. So far, Peter, they're not getting there.
And has your team told you that if you use the military now, that there will be regime change right away?
No, nobody's told me that.
We'd love regime change, but it's not guaranteed. I don't know. Hey, how do you feel about Bill Clinton?
Well, I mean, I think that he was a pretty successful president in a lot of ways, and
I mean, with Epstein, the Epstein stuff.
I mean, I don't know. It's obviously a strange relationship that they seemingly had. I mean, that whole portrait of him in a Monica Lewinsky dress that was found at Epstein's apartment was very bizarre.
You know, if we're going to get into that, I mean, let's face it, President Trump was seen dancing with Jeffrey Epstein at a party. You know, they're dancing right next to each other. There they are.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
But I mean, being spotted at a social event with someone you're both high profile individuals.
Not just a social event. It was Mar-a-Lago. And you know what? I don't know if I've ever actually seen the portrait. I don't know what I'm looking at right now. You know,
I mean, you've seen photos of it.
I've seen photos, but I don't even know if that's real. You know, now I hear that the whole idea that he had every room wired and, you know, there was closed circuit television. Everybody seems to accept that. It's wrong. Mm-hmm. It's not true. It's like, that is not true. So there are a lot of things I'm told. And okay, I'm looking at Bill Clinton in a swimming pool with two women. Now what? He can't go. He can't go swimming. Was he suddenly? You know, if he was fooling around in office, I imagine he's fooling around out of office. Yeah, those are not children.
He was kind of sleazy, and you know, did what he did as a guy.
I don't even know if we should call him sleazy.
You don't have to call him sleazy. I'm calling him sleazy.
You just did.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking trips on the Lolita Express is kind of
Lolita
sleazy.
Express. You know, President Trump was on that plane as well.
Okay.
He was on. Did you know that?
I probably had read that before. How many times was he on the
I mean,
thing?
I'd like, you know, it's really pick your team, right? You know, we're just.
Not really. I started out by saying I think he was a pretty good president. That's what I wanted to talk about. You wanted to talk about Epstein.
Well, because he's on the stand right now about this stuff. And I'm telling you, Donald Trump, and he's been honest about it. He's been honest. And so have the Clintons, quite frankly. I want to play this from Hillary Clinton again. She's not wrong when she says what she says here.
I don't think getting a, whatever we should call it, from an intern in the Oval Office is like a guy that you can't call sleazy.
No, not just, you see, every now and then you fine, he's sleazy.
Okay. Good.
I mean, but I know guys, all right? I know.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen in life.
Sure.
And you notice that Bill Clinton, it also, I don't know, man, here's Hillary saying the obvious. I mean, all right, so is this all about getting him for what he did in the 90s? Is that what it is?
I mean, look, we probably have a lot more common ground on how silly it is to try to like dredge up somewhat questionable moral behavior from the 90s and make that into a federal case. But I don't know. I mean, I think that the whole idea that there's something more to the Jeffrey Epstein situation and that it was some sort of a blackmail operation, that's what people are mostly interested in.
And that's where there's no evidence.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
There's evidence that Larry Summers had, and then people can call him, oh, well, he's sleazy, and it gets another chance for us to call him sleazy, and another chance to, you know, feel morally superior, and it's another chance, oh, well, Bill Gates, oh, my God, you know, like, I don't know, why am I supposed to hate Bill Gates so much sometimes? I'm like, didn't he invent, I don't know, the computer software that is running all this crap? Yes, he did. We resent him partially for his success, for the billions of dollars that he made. Here's Hillary Clinton, and I'm sorry, you know, I didn't vote for her, but this is a legitimate explanation. Cut one.
You spoke in your opening remarks about how heartbroken you have been for the Epstein survivors as these files have come out. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you have processed and reacted to the fact that the former president, your husband, Bill Clinton, is referencing the Epstein files numerous times, including in some photos featuring women? And how have you been personally preparing for the deposition that is coming tomorrow? Are you 100% confident that there isn't anything that the former president knows about Epstein's crimes?
I am, and I think the chronology of the connection that he had with Epstein ended several years before anything about Epstein's criminal activities came to light, and that he was charged and sadly given a sweetheart deal, which, as I said in my statement, had that not happened, perhaps his predatory behavior could have been stopped earlier. But I think it is fair to say that the vast majority of people who had contact with him before his criminal pleas in 2008 were like most people. They did not know what he was doing. And I think that that is exactly what my husband will testify to tomorrow.
And that's what he did. So it's very selective. It's very. I don't think Bill Clinton has to use a guy like Jeffrey Epstein to get girls. I don't think he's into underage girls. I think it's really unfortunate that, we see a picture from 1999 and he's noticing a girl who's not wearing a bra, oh, by the way, out on a Friday night. People are going to notice these things. I would notice these things. I notice these things. I know that President Trump never needed Jeffrey Epstein for girls. I know that President Trump was on the plane. I know that they socialized together once or twice. It's just, but we're going to wag our finger because it's a Democrat. And that's what they're going to do to us. They're going to get us in trouble for all of our associations, everything we've ever done, everything we've ever said, all this stuff. It's all about team, and I'm sick of it. I'll be right back.
Greg Kelly
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Early voting ends today for the Texas primaries. That's next week. Texas. Oh, man, this thing came up on me kind of by surprise. Cornyn is running for re-election. Cornyn, the Republican, is running for re-election. He's been there for a long time. John Cornyn is his name. I once met him in a green room. I felt woefully undressed when I met him. Underdressed. I just felt like, oh, boy, this guy's fancy. He's running for re-election. Excuse me. He's not MAGA. He's Republican. He's conservative, but not a MAGA conservative. So there's that guy. Who's running against him? A couple of Republicans. Congressman Wesley happens to be an African-American conservative in Texas. And then there's Attorney General Ken Paxton. That's a competitive primary. And it looks like Paxton and Cornyn are in the running. They're in the lead. And if neither gets a majority, if nobody gets a majority, it's going to be a runoff in like 2 months. A runoff. Damn. That's going to be a lot of money and a lot of... Now, the problem with Paxton is he's got a lot of weirdo stuff in his file. All right? Maybe it's a bum rap. I like the guy. Certain things you're not allowed to do when you're in public office. All right? You're not allowed to carry on multiple extramarital affairs. Just one thing, maybe one day you were able to get away with that stuff, but you can't get away with that stuff anymore. It is what it is, all right? You can't do it. And Paxton has done it, and he's been busted for it. He's also viewed a little bit extreme by some. I don't know what the merits are of that. I'd rather John Cornyn, rhino that he might be, than Crockett or Calicrio, whatever his name. This is going to be ugly, and it probably is going to take presidential involvement to get Ken Paxton to stand the hell down.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Ooh, we're back. Hello, test. Ever see the movie The Matrix? The Matrix is based on the idea that everything we see is a computer simulation, and the real world is actually this dark factory where human beings are the power cells that keep the computers running, that create the Matrix, that create this illusion that people live in. And there are some actually very smart people who believe that there's like a 50-50 chance that is the scenario that we're in right now, that all of this is a computer simulation. Elon Musk has said out loud that, if that's true, then why not live a life that tests the boundaries, that tests, right? That just push it, no matter what, because it's all a game. And it's not even real. Now, I don't believe that. But when a smart guy like that entertains that as a notion, because there's so much about Elon Musk that I like, his commitment to civil liberties, the Constitution, the things that he's created, the things that he's done, where he's taking us, the moon and beyond. Mars actually is what he's all about. It's kind of really intriguing, actually. I like this guy. I want to know more about him. I want to know what makes him tick. And I think we can learn so much about Elon Musk from these videos that he posts all the time. And he's laying down some things that are, if nothing else, they are incredibly thought-provoking. Check it out.
They call it the singularity for a reason, because we don't know what's going to happen. In the not that far future, the percentage of intelligence that is human will be quite small. At some point, the collective sum of human intelligence will be less than 1% of all intelligence. If things get to Kardashev level 2, we're talking about human intelligence, even assuming a significant increase in human population and intelligence augmentation, like massive intelligence augmentation, where like everyone has an IQ of 1,000 type of thing. Even in that circumstance, collective human intelligence will be probably 1/billionth that of digital intelligence. We're the biological bootloader for digital superintelligence.
The biological bootloader for digital superintelligence. Wow. Hey, one other thing, I don't like to talk about Nancy Guthrie until they find her, but I think this is a kind of a false hope. They found a camera, one of those doorbell cameras, Ring cameras, on a neighbor, and the morning that she went missing, they saw 6 cars go by the house between 12 midnight and 6 in the morning. 6 cars. Now, I lived in a very similar neighborhood in Arizona. Yuma, Arizona looks just like where Nancy Guthrie lived. The houses and the desert is right next door, right there. It's a development, but the desert is right behind you. 6 cars in 6 hours isn't a lot. Just because it's kind of remote doesn't mean nobody's ever there. Now, that was a Saturday night. Now, what do you got on Saturday night? You got people coming home from the club. And what do you have also early Sunday morning? People going to the golf course. People, I don't know, going to the gym. That's just not a lot. And the way I watched this video was like creepy. They try to make it look really creepy. Who are these cars? Where could they possibly be going? Maybe about their business. Just doing their thing. The award is up to $1 million that Savannah is personally offering. Hello, Adam. How are you? Is this Adam from the airport?
Yes, it is Adam from the airport.
How you doing?
Yeah. I'm all right. I'm just, I'm going to just tell you, it seems like Pam Bondi's holding some of them files back, man.
Oh, yeah?
Do you agree with that?
Nah, not really. I don't. I think the whole damn thing is a hoax. I think the whole thing is stupid and a waste of time and another way to get Trump. That's what I think. I don't like Pam Bondi, by the way. I really have had it with her. She never should have had that job. Should have been Matt Gaetz. Wish they stuck with Matt. Get him confirmed. But no. What makes you say that, Adam?
Well, because the Democrats, they said that this morning when they was about to question Bill Clinton.
No, they always say that. They're always saying the Democrat. Why do you say that, Adam? And you say the Democrats said it. Come on, give me a break. You got to do better. Uh-oh. Thanks, Adam. Be careful out there. Is this Marco, the nasty one? I could have sworn I told him not to call back until sometime in March. Is this good Marco or bad Marco?
Just a question. Do you?
Hey, you son of a! What the hell are you doing? What are you doing? And I feel bad for the other Marco. The other Marco, you got to start calling yourself something else. But since you were honest this time, because I remember once you called yourself John from Queens, but I was able to tell it's you. But now it's Marco from New Jersey, the nasty one, the one who calls up and hangs up. That's the thing. You hung up. So why shouldn't I hang up on you? Why should I ever let you call again? You hung up. You said something nasty and erroneous, and then you hung up. That's my beef with you, Marco, all right? You remember what happened. You didn't have to do that. You got to admit, all right? I let you talk. But you hung up. You made a comment, and then you hung up the phone. Very rude. That's the beef, by the way. It's not your outlandish views. It's not your the fact that, well, when I listen to you, I hear no facts. But whatever. I am willing to put that aside momentarily. What is it?
Yeah, just a question. Do you think Jeffrey Epstein is not a pedophile? Do you think that's a lie? That's fabricated? Is that what you're saying on the air right now?
Is that what you're saying on the air right now? That he's not? I'm saying this. It's not a global pedophile ring. All right? Yes, he got sexual favors or whatever the hell, prostitution. He was convicted of it. He was convicted of enticing minors, soliciting minors for prostitution. He was convicted of that. He went to jail for that, right? Underage girls. He had sex with a 17-year-old girl, kind of like Jerry Seinfeld did, but it was different because Seinfeld was in New York, and that was the age of consent in New York. In Florida, it was 18. All right? So it's an underage girl, and he was getting, what do you call those things? Hand jobs from underage girls. He was paying for it. That's child prostitution, fine. Pedophile, you want to say that? Fine. The thing that I'm skeptical about, Marco, is this global pedophile ring. That's, like, that would concern me. Some jerk in 2006 fooling around with a 16, 17, 15-year-old girl. That's terrible. But it's not worth congressional hearings 20 years later. That's what I'm saying. That's what I believe. And all the guys who have been through these files keep telling me how shocking they are. Oh, my God, have you read this? And I'm like, what? Larry Summers was asking for dating advice from Jeffrey. I mean, show me the evidence of the pedophilia post-2008. I bet, Marco, you never read the indictment of Epstein when he was arrested coming off that plane in Teaneck, or wherever the hell that is, Teterboro. If you read it, you'd find out that I thought at the time that he must have just come from the island and they rescued a bunch of kids. But all the allegations were 20 years old. It all went back. It was all to get Trump. They can run that stupid video of him with Trump all over again. You got any evidence for me that there's something global happening? Like, let's say in the last 15 years, and by last 15 years, I mean 2011 or later. You got anything? Have you been through the files?
No, because they don't.
I know. No. The 3 million things on the gosh damn internet. No, because they don't let the files. Because the Democrats told me they haven't released any evidence. I bet you haven't even looked at the documents that have been available for everybody since the beginning. You haven't been through the plea agreement. You haven't been through the indictment in 2007. You haven't been through the indictment of Ghislaine Maxwell. Nobody's been through any of this stuff. And I understand. You know why? Because it takes time. And it's harder to do than scrolling through your stupid phone and getting everybody's hot take. Everybody, oh, wow. Oh, so interesting. Oh, wow. So interesting. All right, Marco. You take care of yourself. He tries. He's always trying. He's always trying. Yes, John. Hello.
Hi, I was talking about Elon Musk. You were talking about Elon Musk before. Definitely a great guy. Really, I'm thankful for him. But I got to tell you, I was really impressed when he called out the big, beautiful bill, because we keep adding all this debt. It's going to screw us, down the line, 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is. This is not going to help us. I know I like tax cuts, but I don't like leaving our kids and our country in a really bad situation.
That's fine. That's where people can disagree on policy and legislation. Fine. I'm not going to, geez. You talk to two different economists, you know what I mean? My head's spinning in 10 seconds. All right? That's not my thing. Deficits. Ronald Reagan, right? We have some of the biggest deficits ever. That was his whole thing. We got to balance the budget. I don't know. look, people can have, and that's what they tried to say. It was all a bit of a stunt to show that there was a gap between President Trump and Elon Musk. You remember Elon Musk and Doge and how toxic that made Elon Musk? I mean, people were burning Tesla dealerships because he was friendly with President Trump. That was all done. That was all contrived to create a artificial rift when there really was none. And I love to point out that I spotted it in real time. You can have differences of agreement over the big beautiful bill, but you don't do what Elon Musk did unless you were trying to, fool people. President Trump, how did Elon Musk say it? He must win to save our Constitution. Big beautiful bill disagreements happen. That's not a threat to the Constitution. Thank you, pal, very much. Don, hello.
Just quick comment about the snowball thing. Question for you. Don't you have to have two parties throwing snowballs to call it a snowball fight?
Well, I've never done the research on, do you have to have a declaration of a snowball fight? You know what I mean? Do you have to have a declaration of war when you play war when you were a kid? But yes, actually, that is a good point. I heard a lady say it that, look, the police officers weren't throwing snowballs back, so this was not a snowball fight. You're right, actually. Technically speaking, I think a snowball fight implies both sides. You know what I mean? Two people. Otherwise, it's just, that wasn't a snowball fight. What the hell's that noise? Everything all right back there? Okay. Yeah, thank you. Good point. One more. Who's this guy? John, hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Greg.
Yeah.
You don't think we live in the Matrix?
Wait, what the hell? Are you talking to me or the guy next to you?
I'm talking to you.
Somebody's next to you.
No, there's nobody.
Something's going on in that vehicle of yours. No, what's your question?
The vehicle that was standing outside. No, I said, you don't think we live in the Matrix?
I don't think we live in the Matrix.
So, what you were saying before about the astronauts, man, that's crazy that they scrapped the whole mission because of what they had the same exact problem back on, what did you say, Apollo 11? And they just had some guys go up there and fix it with a wrench, and that was it. They were off to outer space.
Well, what do you find? I think it's crazy back then. I don't blame. Hey, hydrogen leak sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? Right? Hydrogen.
Yes, I understand I understand safety precautions have come a long way since then, but I had an expression I was going to use, but you had Mr. Jim Flippin on there. I didn't want to use it.
What was that?
That's gay, Greg. That's gay.
Oh, that's gay. Well, you can say something's gay without being homophobic. You can. I think you can. That doesn't mean it's homophobic. It means it's gay, right? I mean, look, I can't eradicate that I grew up in the 1970s. All right. I mean, it's in my hard drive. Okay. And, yeah, some of the most progressive people in the world. I saw them before the world went crazy. You'd be surprised who was using the F word, and by F word, I mean the word that starts in an F that rhymes with bag, like bag of groceries with an F. All right? The times change. Thank you very much. We will be right back on this Friday.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It was great to hear from the new leader of the Democrat Party, Mrs. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Unfortunately, we didn't also get to hear from their other leader, Mr. Zoran Mamdani. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to be proud this evening to vote to reopen the federal government.
House should be in order.
Mr. Speaker, for 40 days, the Democrats shut our government down to pursue unrealistic policy proposals that they know the American people do not want. Mr. Speaker, the American people do not want health care for illegal aliens. They do not want our tax dollars funding left-wing media outlets, and they do not want to drive up our debt $1.5 trillion as part of a short-term continuing resolution. Mr. Speaker, the last 40 days have been nothing but pure political nihilism, and I'm glad that this nightmare is over so that we can get back to work on behalf of the American people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
And that's Brendan Gill, Republican of Texas, and fast becoming my favorite member of Congress. because he's so good on the substance. He's not afraid of hard work, and he's good on social media. A lot of the others, it's the social media is the priority. A dead guy was found in Central Park under the snow. That brings, we believe, the number to 20 people who have been found dead due to the weather in New York. Mamdani made it a priority to not help homeless people, actually. Strange for a leftist lunatic, right? They want to do everything for everybody, pay for everything. But you have a right. You have a right to stay on the street, homeless. And you have a duty to walk around them somehow, right? To be inconvenienced. Oh, by the way, he did just comment on the city dropping the charges against the snowball terrorists. What do we call these guys? Snowball. These ice marauders. It's worse than snowball, right? And these terrorists who took over a public park and the public streets, you're not allowed to do that. But it's all in good fun, right, Zoran? Go ahead.
Thank you for taking my question. Yes. What is your reaction to the downgraded charge for the suspect arrested in the snowball pelting? And what do you say to police officers who are very upset about that and very upset about the incident?
I will say first and foremost that I believe that our police officers should be treated with respect. They are at the heart of delivering exactly that public safety that I was speaking about earlier. And they've also been at the heart of responding to the city's first blizzard since 2016, because police officers were not just out there continuing to do the jobs that they always do, but they also have a tow truck task force, which is one that was chiefly responsible for digging New Yorkers' cars out of the snow, of digging out ambulances, MTA buses, keeping the city moving in that manner. And for that work and everything that they do, I'm deeply appreciative. And what I've said in regards to the snowball fight is that it's a snowball fight that got out of hand, and I don't really have much more to say to it.
The charge, do you have a reaction to that?
Answer the question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We'll go to-
Hey, his reaction is no reaction. All right. Have to wrap up on this Friday. Anything big going on this weekend? It's the last day tomorrow of February, right? That's it. Then it's March, and then it's 3 weeks to spring, and then it's baseball season, right? What do you mean? What are you rolling your eyes at baseball season? No? You like that soccer stuff? Grown men chasing a ball? Hoops. All right. Yes, Tony, hello.
Yeah, Greg, you're not going to believe this. You know what today is?
What?
National Cigar Day.
Oh, I hate those days. That's so stupid. It's not National Cigar Day.
You know who's testifying up in Chappaqua?
Wait, what?
Slick Willie. He's testifying today up in Chappaqua.
On National Cigar Day. I get it, Tony. I get it. Thank you, pal. Frank in Long Island. Frank, what's he?
Hey, Greg, that cigar joke was pretty good.
No.
But hey, I just wanted to, number one, I want to wish you a great weekend. I hope you and your family have a great weekend.
Uh-huh.
But I wanted to put you on to something that I found. It's called jmail.world. Somebody took all the files from Epstein, downloaded it, and made its own page. Okay, and it's like as if it's your email account. So you can put in search words and search people, search anything you want to search that you want to go look up.
I can do that at the Department of. I can put that at DOJ. I already can do that.
Yeah, but it's kind of as if it was
all right,
your
listen,
email.
The other day I told you to find something that shows that there's a satanic ring that you were talking about. Did you find it?
Yeah, I have some of it, but I didn't get a chance to get the page for you.
Come on, man! It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Frank, I appreciate it. Jmail.what? I'll look at it. All right, there's the music. We got to get the hell out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody. And let's see if we can find out where Guzman Kulabilali lives, the 27-year-old kid who assaulted a cop. I don't know, maybe a little protest outside his house. Maybe we challenge him to another snowball fight. 1,000 people to him.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.